Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Into the Red Rabbit Hole. I'm Nighthawk, one half of your hosting the group tonight, and we're going to get into the disclaimer, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's topics. We got quite a few of them going on, and we got a short video we're going to play for you guys and get your opinions on it. And we're going to basically get into glitches and stuff like that, and some of the lies that are being told to us on a lot of the information technology, let's say, technical devices that are glitching out on us. Even tonight, we may have to cut this podcast short because of electronic error. Um, because everybody, my equipment and Eric's equipment has been glitchy. So the disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel declare fair use of any and all content under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which makes allowances for purposes of free use or fair use, such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and general knowledge only. And let's not forget the entertainment value, since I can't talk tonight. All right. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known herein as the Fair Use. Also, we use the UCut app, editing app, for all of our intro and outro and video needs on the podcast and the lives, which gives us permission to use all music from the library for our entertainment purposes. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to get into taking that down and let everybody see Eric's pretty face there, and see him busy fighting with people in the chat already. And
yeah, I was talking to him.
All right, let's see. We've got first off in the house. We've got Carl was in here. It's good to see Carl in there. And there was me and Eric, Roxanne, Urso. All right. And there's the fluffy guy. And there's more. This heifer's here. Griff, good to see you. All right. Let's see here. Who else we got? We have, I know we got more than that. Come on. Misty, good to see you. All right. Bear with me. I started losing my voice again today. All right. And Carl's definitely here. Good. Vicky, good to see you. Ida, good to see you. Let's see. No. Let's see. I saw Juno in here. I know I did.
Yep.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can space him down. Oh, man, this chat is going. Holy crap. Juno, there he is. All right. Okay, Paranormal Oz, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. We have several. Larry, good to see you. We have several different topics we're going to talk about tonight, guys. Some of it's really bizarre. Scott, good to see you. Other is just like for information only, for us to figure out what's going on. There is a lot to be said about all the crap that we are going through today. And I am literally getting beat up every day. And, I don't know if it is just mental fatigue and stress, or if it is literally some kind of MK Ultra type of device that is being used on the populace. When I talked about the fog the other day, last weekend, and what was found out to be in the fog, the parasite and stuff, that went literally ballistic on the internet. And not just because of me, but because of several other podcasters that were talking about it. And they are still to this day talking about it. There was a podcast on earlier today, and he was talking about how the fog is literally changing people, and it is. But that's just one part of the whole glitchiness of the whole scenario that we're dealing with today. You know, we have such a messed up world and a glitchy world. I don't know if it's the fact that we're seeing other timelines at the same time, or if we're just seeing parallel universes every now and then. But how many of us have ever seen our identical selves and our children and a child that was a miscarriage? Think about that. Okay. Now, this little short video that I'm going to play for you guys is really something. I think you're going to really, it's going to knock you for a loop. Okay. Because it did me. And what I'll do is since we're glitching so bad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it twice completely. Okay. So if you get to a glitchy part and you don't hear it or see it, you have a better chance the second time of seeing the whole thing. Okay. But this is how bad they're messing with us. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for everybody to see. And I want everybody to honestly think about this. Think about what this lady is saying. Okay.
This person saw a younger version of herself and her children, including one more person you're not going to believe. You need to watch this. Check it out.
Now that I'm home and I am safe, I can talk about this. When I tell you I just had the weirdest experience of my entire damn life at Walmart, I'm not joking. I had to literally get the hell up out the store. I left my stuff there and I took off. I came home as quick as I could. I want to know what the hell is going on with these timelines and shit, because something ain't right. I've experienced glitches before, but I've never experienced a glitch like this. I'm going to show you guys a picture of me when I was younger and what my kids looked like. This was like 15 years ago. Okay, I want you to look at this picture, because this picture of me, that is my signature haircut. That is the haircut that I get. Every time I chop my hair off, that is the haircut I get. It is that haircut that is stacked in the back and it comes to the front. That's my haircut. My kids will tell you that is my haircut. And what makes this even crazier is I was just talking to Babe the other day, telling him I was going to cut my hair off and I was going to get that haircut. Like, that exact haircut. So I'm at Walmart and I'm shopping and I'm minding my own business. I do shopping, window shopping, to kind of like get my me time and just kind of like time for myself, right? So I'm not really paying attention to what's going on around me. I'm in the clothing section and I'm looking at the clearance aisle. I just kind of feel a little bit funny, so I stop shopping and I look up and I look kind of to the left of me. My jaw drops, y'all. Tell me why I saw me and my kids from like 15 years ago standing literally 10 feet away from me. Like, what? No, it wasn't nobody else that I was mistaken for, me and my kids. It was us from like 15 years ago. I had that same haircut that I just showed you, but they looked like this. Like, I was too stunned to do anything. All I could do was sit there and watch her. Watch me? Us? I don't know. But the even crazier part is there was a boy that was with us. He was a little bit older than my oldest daughter, and the craziest part about that is I had a miscarriage when I was 18. And I knew it was a boy. But I sat there for like 2 seconds and I watched them and they looked so happy. And then reality hit me and I realized, like, what the fuck is going on? And it scared me and I just took off. But what's crazy to me is there was 3 kids there. So I don't know what timeline that was from or what happened there. But I am telling you, this was the craziest experience I've ever had in my entire life. And no, I'm not mistaking that for anyone else. I know what I looked like when I was younger. I know what haircut I had. I just sat there and I watched for like 2 whole seconds. I watched her interact with these babies. And she was the happiest that I've ever seen myself. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, how is this possible? Like, I don't understand this. Can somebody please explain this to me? Because this is blowing my mind. And, like, I'm scared right now. But I feel kind of at peace, if that makes sense. Like, I feel kind of like I got a little bit of closure, in a weird way. I am telling you that was me and my babies. Like, I'm telling you that was us. That was just a beautiful moment that I watched. And if you have any explanations or can kind of tell me what the hell just happened to me, please let me know below, because I can't make sense of it. and I'm freaking out.
Well, what do you all think about that? Now, it didn't play that well on my end, but hopefully you all got a chance to see the whole thing and hear the whole thing.
They
So,
played all the way through without a problem on my end.
okay. All right, that's good. Now, what do you think about that? Yes, that is freaky,
Well,
Ricky.
I mean,
You're correct.
that's a very interesting deal. Which I've seen my doppelganger, and I've also seen kids that look like me, but I can't say that's a glitch in the matrix. That's probably something else. Hey, Daryl. But I have seen my
Well,
doppelganger before, and I've seen my kids' doppelganger, and they didn't recognize me.
yeah, it's just weird because she even said in that video that she had a miscarriage and that she knew it was a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to think that that's not just a time glitch. So that is literally a parallel universe coming through or bleeding through into ours. What if that is happening the majority of the time? What if these are parallel
Mm-hmm.
universes that we're seeing? How is anybody supposed to deal with that? First off, mentally, obviously it affected her to the point where it frightened her so bad that she ran out of the Walmart and left everything in the cart. I mean, she even states that in her testimony. And, we hear this stuff all the time. But I, honest to God, believe her because, first off, her emotional state proves to me that something tragic happened. It had to have happened to trigger her to be that emotional. So I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but I would love to get everybody's insight in that.
Yeah, I mean, people are pretty much saying the same thing. There's been a few of them in here that seen their doppelgangers. A lot of them thinks that this can happen, and like Ursula said, they created a window. And I'm still on the deal where I think CERN destroyed one timeline, and now we got two of them colliding together, which is what we've talked about multiple times with the Mandela effect.
And
I
also the fact that everybody is experiencing all these electronical glitches and stuff lately. I mean, look at how spotty everything is just getting. Even the information coming out on the wire services and stuff is completely almost opposite of what we're actually being led to believe. So, it's like two worlds colliding and the information getting mixed up and jumbled up into a blender.
Dude, my phone's been acting up. My computer's been acting up. My work computer has been acting up. All this stuff has been acting up for me for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, the veils are thinning, Griff. In fact, I don't think there's much of a veil left at all, to tell you the truth, between this world and a parallel universe. You all know my theories on the whole parallel universe thing, with the layers and stuff. So, and what you all call the veil, I call the shadow realm. You see, that's the only difference that between us. I may state that it's something different because I've experienced it to the point where I've actually been in the shadow realm, and I've experienced those shadow beings that are in there, the shadow cryptid creatures and stuff that are in there. And they have cryptid creatures just like we have here, but they are more of a malevolent feeling than what we have here. Because you have so many reports of some cryptids being spotted where people don't get any fear in them whatsoever, that they just spot them and the cryptid runs away, or walks away. Then you have others that, are aggressive, and very aggressive, But over there in the shadow realm, they're aggressive and mean 24/7. They don't get nice. You won't find anything nice or kind in the shadow realm. You won't.
Oh, damn, good song, girl. My daughter just opened up her door. She's got a great song playing. We're getting ready for graduation. It's been a busy week, dude. Oh my God. My oldest finished her first year of college last Friday. Had awards ceremony Friday. Of course, tornado stuff going all week. Art stuff after school. I mean, it's busy.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin's got a very good point. That happens a lot too when you're glitching between parallel universes. You know, hey David, there is so much bizarre stuff going on. You know, it just leads me to think that there is CERN has definitely done damage. Okay, now are they trying to repair the damage, or are they trying to just get rid of one world and move on to another? You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it makes me wonder. You know, we've talked about this many times. You know, there's always a bad side to us, and a certain part of our life, that bad side had to come out because it was needed for the situation.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like I've noticed the past few weeks, that it is getting harder and harder and harder to keep that caged up inside. Is this the result of, struggling to keep it caged up because of what's going on? Makes you wonder, man.
All right. Yeah. And what makes me wonder even more is the fact that, and I'm one that at night when I try to go to sleep, I'll listen to the glitch stories and stuff, the recordings that have like 2-3 hours on them, and I'll play it on the headphones, and I'll go to sleep, or I'll just relax and try to sleep, listening to them. And there's some pretty bizarre stories of glitches and stuff that have been seen by people. And surprisingly, a lot of them are prominent people. They're, you're talking college professors and doctors and and captains of industry that are having these glitches and stuff that they're experiencing. There was one case where a college student actually had it happen while he was in class, and his younger version from a year earlier in his freshman year showed up to the class that he was in, and he was a sophomore, I believe. He was in his third year. So, and he saw his younger version there, and it blew his mind. And that he confirmed it, that it was him, because he actually sat down next to him and talked to him. So,
Man,
there's a lot of weird, bizarre stuff going on. A lot of weird, bizarre stuff going on. I would be interested to hear what some of these people are experiencing, in the chat, as far as their glitches and stuff.
Did I miss somebody? No. Okay. I was trying to see. Oh, crap. Chat's jumping on me. I don't remember if I was in a Kmart or Walmart, but I seen like a kid version of me one time, and I was like, of course, at that time, I was like, oh, crap. Where's this one's mama?
That must have been scary.
Tell you what, dude, I'm talking about full curly. I mean, a daggone spitting freaking image of me when I was young. It just ain't no mistaking it. And of course, my thought at times like, oh crap, where's his mama at? Because I need to know if I'm getting stuck with something I don't know about or not, But yeah, it's weird. And now we get talking about this, and makes me wonder, did it glitch when that happened? that I actually did
Yeah.
see a younger version.
Yeah.
Carl.
You gotta love Carl,
Oh my
man.
God.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That is funny.
Hey, take it easy, Griff. I know the feeling, buddy. It's been
Yeah,
very,
Griff,
very
you have
long.
yourself a good
Very, very
rest,
long
bro.
time.
Yeah, get some rest, man. We'll always be here, bro. You don't worry about it.
Mhm. Yeah, I
But
felt
yeah,
bad
oh
because like
Scott, good to see
DA
you.
had
Yeah, go ahead about
um,
DA.
he had his show Wednesday, and I was trying to watch it, and my internet was glitching so bad I couldn't watch the damn show. I had to apologize. I
Yeah,
had to leave. I was like, I just can't watch it. Every 2 seconds, the damn thing's glitching.
right. Yeah, and I mean it's not a normal glitch either, though. That's the thing. Because a normal glitch, you would see it on all your devices all at once. Okay, if it was something electrical in the atmosphere, or whether it was an EMP strike, or something along that line, it would glitch on all the devices. But it's not. It's our visual cortexes of our devices and our own bodies that are being glitched on. So how is that happening? That's the thing.
You know, I just thought of something. Um, I don't know if anybody else has been seeing this or not. I have been seeing a crap ton of military vehicles going up and down the highway lately. Um,
Hmm.
you know, it just makes you wonder now. I mean, yes, do we have a buttload? We had like 4 tornadoes in here with winds clocked at 104 mile an hour, but we never called in the National Guard. So why am I seeing all these military vehicles damn near, I mean, multiple times every single day for a week, traveling the same direction? It makes you wonder.
No, Carl, I didn't unfortunately get your message. Oh, that's a perfect example of Carl saying he's trying to get a hold of me, and he hasn't been able to. It won't let him. So
Well, look what happened. Look what happened before the show backstage. I was trying to send you pictures of the storm damage that I was cleaning up, and I tried to send that thing like 4 times before it finally did it.
yeah, yeah. It's really, really just, Trisha. Good to see you. It's getting to the point right now where and I hate to talk about this stuff all the time, but it's something that needs to be discussed. We all know we have been lied to from day one of being born. Okay. Now, how many of you actually believe that there are satellites overhead that are doing the internet for us? Okay, or televising the TV stations for you, or anything along that lines, because it's not. Okay, there is no such thing as satellites. Okay, believe it or not, you're going to call me crazy, and call me crazy all you want. Okay, but here's your proof. 870,000 plus miles of undersea telecommunication cables in operation around the world. These cables are the backbone of a global internet, carrying 99% of all international data. Think about that. So when they're bullshitting us about having to angle that satellite dish a certain way and all that other bullshit, they're bold face lying to us. Okay? That is a gimmick to get into your damn wallet. That's what it is. So you can buy that satellite dish. Okay. And so you can pay those outrageous transferring fees and all that from dish to cable. Bullshit. I call bullshit on the whole damn lot of them. Okay. The whole damn lot of them. It's actually got gotten to the point where it's gotten so bad that I have found out that these elitist and corporations and you name it, organizations are blatantly bold-faced lying to us every second they open their mouth. Every second. Okay. And I'm not just talking the bullshit coming out of Hollywood's mouth. Okay. We all know that crap is utterly ridiculous and satanic, and they deserve to all burn in hell as far as I'm concerned. But, I'm talking the music industry, Hollywood, governments, royal families, elitist CEOs and corporations. It's gotten to the point where they have monopolized triggering us as the masses to be influenced and buy their products and goods and services and overpaying for it and then paying taxes on top of it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's the end game. The end game is the almighty dollar or the almighty gold. And what does that revert back to, Eric? It reverts back to the Anunnaki and their hunger for gold.
Well, and let me play devil's advocate here, because we'd be doing a disservice not suggesting this idea as well. What if it ain't transmitting the internet stuff, but it's feeding information to something else?
True. Very true. But I have yet to see one satellite all the way from the 1960s fall from space.
We had some, what was that, the mid 90s, early 2000s? We had a couple that fell.
They said that they fell, but did anybody have any proof? Anybody recover anything? Has anybody recovered, and kept the evidence and not hid the evidence? That's the thing. They can say, just like they said that, just like Bezos said he sent those 5 dimwits into space, Well, he didn't send them dimwits into space. He sent them to a little bit into the ionosphere. Okay. The capsule that they were in didn't even have solar burns on it for re-entry into the atmosphere. So we know damn well they didn't go into outer space. Plus the fact that she opened the damn door from the inside before Bezos even got to the door. So, it's ridiculous the amount of lies out of these elitist mouths. Okay. They have such I just want to take them by their little necks and just smack the crap out of them. I really do. Because what they're doing is a travesty to civilization by as much as they're lying and trying to manipulate the masses. So I don't know about anybody else, but that's just my 2 cents. And here's a perfect example of it. Remember the other day when we were talking about how the left eye is affected and it's like the black eye club type of a thing? Well, here is a picture, everybody, that I was talking about the Queen, Biden, and the new leader of the World Economic Forum. Check this shit out and tell me I'm not right.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm not right. Please, somebody tell me that I am completely off base here, that they are not covering something up. Okay? Somebody, please explain to me how these 3 prominent individuals in public eye through corporation, politics, and you name it, governing people that make executive decisions for masses of people, tell me that they're not covering up something by this bullshit. Okay, because that's exactly what this is. Okay, exactly what this is. It's a complete and bold cover up. And the longer humanity takes this crap up the ass, the worse it's going to get.
And what's funny is look how many people have the exact same injury. The exact same. Are you telling me we got that many people who are so ignorant that they do the same accident to cause the exact same injury? No.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, it's getting to the point where you can't trust anybody. Anybody that is in league with the upper echelons of society, you might as well just go ahead and automatically label them as a liar, okay, and a fraud, okay? And I'll say that to every damn one of them, including Bezos, including Zuckerberg, all of them. You know, I hope they contact me. I hope they do, because I'll tell them to their damn face that they're all a bunch of damn liars, and that they're frauding the public every day that they're doing this stuff. You know, it's absolutely absurd to think that we give them the go ahead or the green light to do what they're doing. You know, even cockroaches, when they come out in the dark, they come out in the dark. But when you turn the light on, they scatter. Okay. That's what's happening with these people. Okay. That's what's happening with all these fake deaths that you see going on, all these fake people moving out of the country that's going on. Okay. First off, they're not dying. They're going to their little underground bunkers like Zuckerberg did for so long, and all the others. And, you know, some of them, naming no names, but prominent people that love certain islands in Hawaii and had certain marshmallow roasting fires, you know, acquired more land. So, yeah, and there's still what 20,000 kids missing from that, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, it's absolutely absurd to think that we're letting them get away with this. Okay, this country was founded by the people, and the people had the right in the Constitution of the United States of America to take back the country from the government, from a corrupt, tyrannical government. Okay. And that's what's going on. Irregardless of the blue and the red and all this, you know, I don't give a shit about who you voted for. Okay. Let's talk realistically. Let's talk real life. Okay. Let's talk. Does any of them have our best interests at heart? Or are they looking at the long end line of the agenda? Okay. Just like that fake messiah that supposedly came out, that is a CIA informant that was planted into the Muslim faith to come out and say he's the new messiah, and then, you know, make no big deal about it. Okay. He is a false prophet. Okay. They are playing everything by the Bible right now. Currently, what's going on? They are playing everything as done in the Bible, that it says what's going to be done, almost like it's a damn play or a theatrical performance. It's absolutely absurd what they're doing to us, and they've been doing it for too damn long.
Riddle me this. Someone who believes they have power, what actually gives them that power? I want to see what people think. Then I have another riddle to answer that.
Man, something's got control of my mouse already.
Yeah.
They don't like me. I'm telling you, they do not like me.
The people who think they have power only has power because we fear them and give them that power. When you're got somebody that is very aggressive, tries to use intimidation to get what they want. That is a way of that they get power over you. And these people use that exact same tactic on us. But once we
Exactly.
stop giving them that power, we start standing up to them, we start turning our backs to them, they lose that power. And that's when you realize they never had the power the whole time. It was just a bully.
Sorry, I got to get more coffee.
That's
I'm
good.
I'm at the point right now where I'm literally just so unbelievably frustrated with the way things have been going for everybody. I got another friend that got a hold of me, someone that has helped us out in the past, um, that you know has donated to the GoFundMe, because of the medical bills and stuff. And one of her friends is going to be homeless up in New York, the state of New York. And I've been trying to find help for that individual. And, unfortunately, that kind of thing is happening more and more lately. Um,
Hmm.
it's almost gotten to the point where, holy crap, I've already drank a pot of coffee, guys. That's 10 cups. Oh, Jesus, I got to slow down. Anyways, it's getting to the point where a lot of people are starting to realize that they can't make it in today's society the way things are right now. And those of us that still have roofs over our heads and vehicles to drive are very blessed. It's kind of like it was back in the 60s and 70s, when we were going through a crunch, a bit of a hardness time, to where we all had our own gardens, and we had to do a lot of canning and eat a lot of different things that we basically wouldn't ordinarily eat all the time, like more of the simpler meals. So, it's getting back to that time frame again. And what scares the hell out of me is the fact that this newer generation of people don't know how to survive. They don't know
Yep.
how to go out in the woods and hunt, and they don't know how to go out in the woods and pick certain herbs to eat and stuff. And, you know, they just don't know, man. So what's going to happen
I
to humanity?
That's funny. A friend of mine and me literally was just talking this very same thing about an hour before the show started. It only took two generations for people to forget how to survive without electricity. Like we was talking, my area got electricity for the very first time maybe 50 years ago. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it literally was not very long before I moved in, or before we moved in down here, that they got electricity here.
I mean, we
And
even had
already
an
in two
outhouse.
generations.
I mean, how many
Yeah, we
people
did
can
too.
actually say they had an outhouse to use? I mean,
Me.
it there's such a big difference between us and the newer generation now, that I really fear for humanity. I don't think humanity is going to survive once us older generations are gone, unless
Yeah.
this generation starts teaching the younger generation how to do things. I don't see humanity surviving.
Like, I get a kick out when power goes out. People freak out. Man, I've got a candle holder that hangs on the wall above my fat guy comfy chair. That one candlestick puts out enough light to illuminate that living room where you can see what you need to see. It's not bright, but it puts out light where you can see everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, I don't know. What's everybody saying in the chat? Let's see here. Oh, Freaky, good to see you
Um,
in there, man. Daryl, good to see you too in there.
Roxanne's talking about being the Xena warrior princess.
Oh, there we go.
My
Roxanne's
kid,
talking about Xena again.
yeah,
Hey, Rhonda. Yeah.
yeah. Rhonda said her kids can, Yeah, I mean, people do not understand that. Summer one candle, literally, you can use a candle. You can illuminate a good section of a cave. One candle in an 11 by 11 room will illuminate that whole room where you can see everything.
Put one candle inside a terracotta pot upside down, and you got a little space heater
and a cooker. You can actually cook on that too.
Yeah.
Takes a little while to warm
So,
up,
I
but
mean,
it will do it.
I don't know. Maybe we should do a survival course again on one of our shows.
Mm-hmm. People don't realize TNT. Yeah, that's an explosive. But if you ain't got that precision cap in there, you can actually rip a piece of that off and light it, and it'll burn, and you can cook food with TNT, and it will not blow up. You got to have the pressure along with everything else to cause that to go boom. Otherwise, it's just a candle.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just the way things are nowadays, man. It's a scary subject to talk about, but it is a subject that we need to talk about. And all this glitchy crap that's going on, it's not helping matters any at all. In fact, it's getting to the point where unless you're Generation X or older, I'm sorry, but I feel sorry for you because it's not going to be good for you all when we're gone. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm. People don't know the simple things like moss will grow more predominant on the north side of something. So where even on a cloudy day, you're going to know where north is.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize you follow water to find civilization. People don't realize you can actually use moss on a wound. Native Americans done it. They would use moss and what was that other thing they'd be? Honey, ain't it? They'd mix moss and honey and put on a wound.
Yeah. And we would also use pine sap to seal wounds. Because pine sap has the natural antibiotics within the sap. So, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things that, I just don't know anymore, man. I really don't.
Like me and my friend talked about, kids nowadays think that when you live off the land, they're a naturalist. No, they're not. That's called living. It's called surviving.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a naturalist. Yeah. We're not naturalists because we go out and we gather and we hunt. It's called living. That is our way of life. Honestly, Carl, if I had a choice between moss and a Band-Aid, I'd take moss every damn time. People don't realize you get a bee sting, put a little wet tobacco on it, it pulls the stinger out. You get a bad cut, a little bit of wet tobacco in that wound actually pulls out the infection and helps it to heal quicker. I mean, it's little stuff like that.
Cornstarch in the tobacco.
Oh, that's the good stuff right there. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. I mean, this is stuff I've done for years. I mean, to me, it's normal. But to these kids, they're a naturalist. No, man. Literally, this is how your parents survived at one point in time, or your grandparents in some cases. Yeah. Take a cardboard egg carton, cut out the egg holders, put dryer lint in them egg holders, dip it in wax, and let it dry. You have a waterproof fire starter that burns for about 15-20 minutes. and it
Yeah.
can even dry out
Yep.
wet wood to cause it to burn, which you stack wood around that, and now you have fire and dry wood. But it's something as
Yeah.
simple as a cardboard egg carton, dryer lint, and wax.
And
Simple.
it's and this is just some of the simple stuff, that we're discussing right now. But
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, I mean, think about it. If these glitches get much stronger with electronic devices, how lost do you think the newer generation is going to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, I look at my kids, and oh my God, when they don't have a phone, they don't have a computer, or they don't have a TV, it is the end of the world. I'm going. How do you think writers write? They use their imagination. Best thing to do right now in a situation like that, use your imagination. Simple. I mean, even
Yeah,
even in my build pack, I keep candles in it.
exactly.
Yep.
That's
Daryl.
the biggie
Exactly.
thing everybody should have. Everybody should have a bunch of
Mhm.
candles in their home.
Yep. I got Kim lights and I got candles.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I ain't gonna be hurting. Kim light burns for 24 hours. Once I'm out of Kim lights, guess what I got? I've got candles.
yeah. That's like save your
Yep. Free.
bars of soap that you have that get worn down to nothing, to a nub, and then take them and use a grater
Mhm.
and grate it into fine dust and mix it with a box of baking soda, and you've got laundry detergent.
Mhm. Yep. I mean, there's so many things people can do that they have access every single day of their life. Every single day, they have access to
Yeah.
stuff, and
And
they
and
don't
and
realize
these are
the
just
value of what it is.
these are just simple things that that we just that you
Mhm.
and I would normally take for granted, okay, because we know these things,
Mhm.
okay, and we know that we could actually pull it off if we need to. But if it came down
Mhm.
to the newer generation to do this to survive, I don't know if they can. I don't know if they have that capability.
I don't either. People don't realize that you can heat a flat stone in a fire, and that flat stone can not only cook your food, but provide you warmth on a cold night.
Hmm. I
Just
mean,
a simple flat.
how many people know that Crisco makes the best oil lanterns, and candles and stuff, with a mason
Mhm.
jar, So,
Mhm.
it's just simple stuff, it really is. So it's so simple. I mean, it's like, they took away this knowledge, and they've been doing it for a very long time. And we know that from the mud flood history that they have reset civilization over civilization time and time again. Okay. We know that because first off, they know the Chinese never built the wall. Okay. They never built the wall, folks.
Mhm.
The wall's facing them. That wall was built to
Mhm.
keep the Chinese out.
Mhm.
That's what that wall was built for. Okay. So, yeah,
Yeah, and I
there's so
questioned
many
that when I was a
things.
kid, and I got
Yeah, there's just so many
sorry.
things that we question that we have been shot down about over time that we never really thought about it,
Mhm.
but now lately people are starting to wake up. They're starting to realize, hey, there's something to this shit. There's something to these
Mhm.
hieroglyphs and all this Egyptian shit being found in the Grand Canyon. There's something to the black holes and stuff that people are experiencing in like Utah and stuff like that. I'm not going to name any prominent ranches because there's 2 ranches out there I'd love to go spend time on, but we won't go there. But
Mhm.
you know, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just getting out of control.
And in summer, you can also take, and David's right, the wrong kind of rocks will explode. If you find a rock that's got a divot in it, you can actually use that to boil water too. But yes, they can heats the beds. Native Americans, when they were stuck out in the open, same as the mountain men, would dig. What is it, a foot down or 6 inches or a foot? I can't remember. I think it was a foot down, and put their
Yeah,
heated
about
rocks in that, cover back up dirt, and then put their pelts over it. They stayed warm in the dead of winter when it's sub-zero degrees outside. Yep. They used to have these
Anyways,
things called coal pans, and
yeah,
they would literally put coals in these coal pans and put them under the blankets. The bad thing about coal pans is if blanket touches that coal through them vents, they were known to catch fire. But that's how they warmed their beds at night, was these coal pans.
yeah.
And that's why I tell people all the time. I mean, this is an old book I have, but it's probably one of the best books I got in here. It's based off of Native American ways and mountain man ways, but it's the wilderness living and survival skills. This here, right here, is pretty much anything you need to know about building, about surviving in nature. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, we get these glitches like we were talking about at the beginning of the show. You know, what's going to happen when the glitches stop, and that means everything else stops, and boom. What are you going to do now? I know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to have a good time. I get pissed at my phone more times than anything. More times than anything because I'm on my phone way too much, especially because of work. And that thing gets to dinging and ringing all the time, man. I want to throw that thing out the window. I hate my phone. I hate being on the phone. I hate being on the computer a lot too, but I'm on it a lot as well because it takes away from reality.
Yeah.
That's why I tell
Yeah, it
people,
does.
don't send me 500 texts. If you want to talk to me, come see me, talk to me. You can't feel emotions through a text. If you can't come see me, call me. You know, people can't get it because all
Yeah.
they want to do is text, 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 text. That's all they want to do. They're so. That is still debatable, Freaky. There you go. I think it's pretty set in stone. They want one. So, I don't know, man. I mean, simple things. Simple things. Some kinds of plants and berries, clay, mud, and fecal matter were used to make paints. Simple things. Yeah.
All right, well, it looks like we got our work cut out for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But these glitches are very real, and honestly, I know we're we're kind of sidetracking a little bit, but technically we're not at the same time because this is very real. And soon, I mean, it can happen very easily that all this electronic stuff's going to go down.
Exactly.
When you ain't got paper money, you're going to have to go. There's a reason why toilet paper was called mountain money. If you had a roll of toilet paper, that was worth more than any gold you can find back in the old days. That's why it was literally a name for toilet paper is mountain money.
Yeah, save your papers, save your newspapers because, you never know. You never know. At least you can cut them in strips and use them for toilet paper if you need to.
Hey, Joanne. I agree.
How we doing, Joanne?
So it is, yeah, people still buy newspapers, David. They still sell them.
Yeah, just go get them out of those real estate boxes and stuff you see laying all over the place, outside of businesses. Just go and grab a handful of them. I'm telling you, it's going to get so bad that people are going to start thinking of going to these stores and stuff, convenience stores and McDonald's and stuff, just to get the condiment packages.
Oh, man. Yeah. You remember, I don't know when they stopped having them. When you used to be able to walk down the street and damn near every other block had a newspaper box that you put a quarter in to get the daily newspaper.
Yeah. They still got them around here periodically.
Do they? I haven't seen one in the Coons age.
Yeah, corn husk is a good one too, Ida.
I'm getting caught up here. Yep. Yeah, people used to use corn husk to wipe their bum before mountain money came out. Which mountain money is nice, but what do you do when you don't have mountain money?
Yep. Have a good night, Vicky. Anyways,
no kidding, I have not seen them in forever. I don't see Vicky's. Did I miss it? Most of the ones, the newspapers I find anywhere I go is on them little racks inside the store now.
Yeah.
We still have a town. Yeah. Huh. I was beginning to think they become a cryptid, just like the old coin telephones.
Yeah.
The old telephone booth.
Hey, for those of you that came in late, that didn't see the video, I'm going to play that 3-minute video again. And it's talking about how this woman had a glitch in Walmart. And I just, for those of you that came in late, I think it's a good idea to refresh it and to play it for you all. So I'm going to go ahead and play that again. And if we need to get drink refills, I'd go ahead and do it. All right, here we go, guys.
This person saw a younger version of herself and her children, including one more person you're not going to believe. You need to watch this. Check it out.
Now that I'm home and I am safe, I can talk about this. When I tell you I just had the weirdest experience of my entire damn life at Walmart, I'm not joking. I had to literally get the hell up out the store. I left my stuff there and I took off. I came home as quick as I could. I want to know what the hell is going on with these timelines and shit because something ain't right. I've experienced glitches before, but I've never experienced a glitch like this. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of me when I was younger and what my kids looked like. This was like 15 years ago. Okay, I want you to look at this picture because this picture of me, that is my signature haircut. That is the haircut that I get. Every time I chop my hair off, that is the haircut I get. It is that haircut that is stacked in the back and it comes to the front. That's my haircut. My kids will tell you that is my haircut. And what makes this even crazier is I was just talking to Babe the other day telling him I was going to cut my hair off and I was going to get that haircut. Like, that exact haircut. So I'm at Walmart and I'm shopping and I'm minding my own business. I do shopping, window shopping to kind of like get my me time and just kind of like time for myself, right? So I'm not really paying attention to what's going on around me. I'm in the clothing section and I'm looking at the clearance aisle. I just kind of feel a little bit funny, so I stop shopping and I look up and I look kind of to the left of me. My jaw drops, y'all. Tell me why I saw me and my kids from like 15 years ago standing literally 10 feet away from me. Like, what? No, it wasn't nobody else that I was mistaken for, me and my kids. It was us from like 15 years ago. I had that same haircut that I just showed you, but they looked like this. Like, I was too stunned to do anything. All I could do was sit there and watch her. Watch me? Us? I don't know. But the even crazier part is there was a boy that was with us. He was a little bit older than my oldest daughter, and the craziest part about that is I had a miscarriage when I was 18. And I knew it was a boy. But I sat there for like 2 seconds and I watched them and they looked so happy. And then reality hit me and I realized like what the fuck is going on, and it scared me and I just took off. But what's crazy to me is there was 3 kids there. So I don't know what timeline that was from or what happened there. But I am telling you, this was the craziest experience I've ever had in my entire life. And no, I'm not mistaking that for anyone else. I know what I looked like when I was younger. I know what haircut I had. I just sat there and I watched for like 2 whole seconds. I watched her interact with these babies. And she was the happiest that I've ever seen myself. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, how is this possible? Like, I don't understand this. Can somebody please explain this to me? Because this is blowing my mind. And, like, I'm scared right now. But I feel kind of at peace, if that makes sense. Like, I feel kind of like I got a little bit of closure, in a weird way. I am telling you that that was me and my babies. Like, I'm telling you that was us. That was just a beautiful moment that I watched. And if you have any explanations or can kind of tell me what the hell just happened to me, please let me know below because I can't make sense of it and I'm freaking out.
That's just, to me, that's just freaky. That is just completely freaky. And I'm at a point right now where I'm starting to realize that happens a lot. And it's creepy, man. It is such a creepy feeling to have it glitched like that. I wonder if I still have the video. I'm going to see if I can find the video that I made of about 2 years ago in a grocery parking lot where I saw a car pull up, and it pulled up in front of us as I was sitting in the truck, waiting and at the grocery store. And the guy got out of the car and walked into the grocery store. And then there was a parking place in between that didn't have a car, and another one down from it. Okay. And this other car pulled in, the exact same car, exact same color, exact same white guy getting out of it, and the exact same license plate. And they were literally parked one space apart. And I actually got it on video. I'm going to see if I can find that video. I've got it archived somewhere. I'm going to see if I can get that and upload it for tomorrow or Sunday. I mean,
Heck yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of strange shit in my life. I know that. It's I can't do head cheese. Ugh. Yeah, just true head cheese is made from actually scraping the head. Ugh. I can't do it. But it makes you wonder on this stuff. Of course, back a long time ago, you don't ever think about, we got different timeline. Shit, sorry guys, that came on me quick. Do we got two different
I'm
timelines
starting to get
merging
tired,
together or
too.
what? Yeah, it's it's mine's just because I've been busier than a hiccup.
Hey, if you all can
Hey,
hammer that
Jessica.
like button, it would be greatly appreciated. Hey, Jessica.
Yeah.
I can see that happening,
Yeah.
but I'm not
Mhm.
100% sold on you see, in order for something to merge, it has to blend, and it has to have the ability to blend together. And I'm just because that's all you're talking quantum physics, and that's all kind of hypothetical, to a point. And I believe that there is a quantum entanglement going on, but I don't believe that it's actually a complete blending. So it's to me, it's more than what they're doing. It's like they're purposely bleeding another reality on top of us, and when I mean they, I mean the powers that be and like CERN and all that too. I just something in my gut tells me that they are just doing this on purpose as a test to see how we as a society of people react. And they've been doing tests like this our whole lives, so
My brain just done its weird thing. We talk about deja vu often, which I used to think deja vu was you looking into the future, which I'm still kind of on that fence. I think it's you looking into the future. But what
I
if?
used to think it was a mustard.
Pardon me, sir. Do you have
Oh,
any
that's
good
Dijon.
coupon?
That's Dijon mustard. Sorry, I had it mixed up.
But I wonder if the deja vu might have something to do with timelines crossing over. And either not so much as seen in the future, or um, if it's a little bit of both. Hey,
Hey,
Diver.
Divergent.
That's I never really thought about it that way, but we got to talking about these glitches and these timeline merges and stuff like that. It makes you wonder if that ain't. I mean, we'd have to honestly put that in the realm of possibility dealing with deja vu.
Exactly. There's so many variables that can be,
Mm-hmm.
grouped into the whole glitch theory. I mean, because you're not only just talking glitches, which are, we see airplanes stopping in midair. We've seen people stopping in mid stride. We've seen dogs frozen
Mm-hmm.
in place. All that kind of stuff we see all the time on the internet. Okay, but then you have the glitches where, like the Mandela effect, like you were talking about, or when you're driving down the road one day and the next day you take the same exact road, and where there wasn't a building but a farmer's field now stands a 20-acre manufacturing facility,
Yeah.
and these types of glitches happen all the time. There's been cases of people driving down a country road and not having a town near them, and they enter into a small town and they remember the name of the town. They go back on the same way coming back, and that town's gone. So, these glitches are getting really, really more bizarre as they go on. And that tells me that this is an ongoing process that they are doing. Because normal glitches would happen and then that's it. This glitch is getting
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse as years go on.
Well, I mean, think about this. How many times have you guys, and this goes right along with what you was just saying. You went down, you went somewhere, and you know this place by heart. You could. I have been known to sleep and drive 30 some odd miles and make it back to my home when I wake up because I know the route so well. Don't recommend it, but back when I was doing working 2 or 3 shifts at a time, that may or may not have happened, and that's why I've witnessed the black dog firsthand. Was because man, I worked my ass to death. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you get all of a sudden you go down this road and you're lost. It's like everything is different. Every bit of this route is completely different, and you're
Right.
like, how?
Exactly.
How did this happen? Because I know this route. Why is it different?
Yeah.
And that happens. I've been noticing that's been happening to me more and more frequently. I have the same route I drive for work. I've drove these routes for 7 years. I've drove these routes. And I've went into these locations going, why does this look different? This is completely different than what it should look like. But
Exactly.
think about
And
how
has
often that happens.
Yeah. And has anybody ever actually added in the fact that we went from a 4G to a 5G? And since we went to a
Mm-hmm.
5G, how it's happening a lot more severe with these glitches. So maybe that
Yeah.
has something to do with it too.
And I want to, and Jessica, I mean, I don't know where she lives, but that is a very valid point and a very valid question. Does she live next to a large hadron collider or an ion collider? The thing is we're noticing this stuff with people who don't live around this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Well,
man,
Scott
I
said,
mean,
look what
it's a
Scott
good.
said. Scott said that
Mhm.
he lost 2 hours between San Diego and Bend, Oregon driving,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
you hear that all the time. What
Dude.
if, I mean, what is the possibility of, say, you're driving your vehicle and you hit a what they call, I think they call it a quantum flux, okay, where
Mhm.
the band wave fluctuates and you travel
Mhm.
from one dimension into another and then back out of that dimension again, and maybe that's where the time went. you know Maybe it's not, missing time from alien abductions and all that. Maybe some of this stuff is literally that we are phasing in and out of this reality.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I'd be driving along and even done this walking a few times that I know I remember being in one spot 1 second and then the next second I'm 12 plus miles away from where I just was a second ago.
Yeah.
And that has happened, and it's not that the time has changed. Literally, it's just that gap in between that mileage is gone. I may have gained 4 or 5 minutes, but that gap in between there is just completely gone. So I don't know. Oops, sorry. Sorry, bud. I was trying to scroll around and that thing, my finger, will tap that.
I'm trying to get the right one up there. There it is. Oh, come on, damn it. you seriously not working? See, there's another glitch right there.
Yep. It is raining for a fourth time today.
Oh, dang it. Where in the hell is that? Okay. This is crazy, the way this stuff is glitching.
Yeah. I've heard that, I've heard 5G plus, but I've also thought I've heard something about 6G, Freaky. I don't know, but I have heard scuttlebutt about 6G.
Yeah, 6G is coming out next year. That's what they've been saying. God knows what that's going to do. I'm trying to read the comments as you put them up. Well, that would answer a lot right there, Summer. That would answer a lot. I won't ignore that. That's for sure. That's definitely answering a lot. So let's see here. All right. That's like today with the computer. I couldn't even post any pictures and stuff to post up tonight for tonight's podcast because the computer was glitching out and the pictures wouldn't even come up. And there goes Eric, so completely froze up and gone. So, the stuff is for real, guys. It really is. So, but let's let Eric get his rest and don't worry about coming back on. We're gonna go ahead and cut this short, okay, and call it a night. And we'll try to see everybody in the morning, but there's no guarantee that I'll be able to do it in the morning. But definitely Sunday morning, we will have a podcast, okay, at 11 a.m. Eastern, okay, Sunday morning. So that being said, everybody, if you can heart and share this out, get the word out, subscribe to the channel. The comments and the likes really help a lot with the algorithm. And we will try to see you all in the morning. Okay. So peace, love, and blessings, everybody. And if not tomorrow morning, it'll definitely be Sunday morning. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.